How is everyone doing today? Happy Tuesday. Tuesday, middle of the day live stream. Haven't done one of these in a while, I don't think. I see people saying late. I was not late. Too many tabs open. I hit go live at 2:30. My fisherman intro didn't end until 2:31, but that is not what we go by. We go by when the button is pressed. I just need to get the highlighted chat ready. That is one thing that I forgot to do. And then we're good to go. As always, this is going to be a Q&A. Feel free to leave your questions in the chat if you have any. I will be answering questions for the next hour and a half, 90 minutes. This one's got to stay tight to 90 minutes. I will do my best. I figured it'll be a little bit less busy during the day than it is in the evening, but I will do my best to answer every single question. I do have a hard cutoff time at 4 p.m. Eastern. The reason I'm going live right now is all July, August, it was like 95 degrees in upstate New York. It was so hot. Lawn was dead, not grown at all. And we did go to the water park a couple times, but we do an annual water park trip, just an overnight. It's like a day and a half trip. And we're doing that tomorrow and the next day. So Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to be at a water park while it's 63 degrees for the high, and the overnight low is like in the 40s. So we'll see how that goes. They do have a lot of dry rides too. Maybe we'll end up doing more of the dry rides than the water rides. But anyways, I now have the highlighted chat, I believe. By catch 'em all, I guess Dan is talking about streamers. You do see, we will talk about, it is on my YouTube live notes. eBay Live. eBay Live, we are coming in hot. I will get my eBay Live linked. Let me link you right to, oh, I just saw it. There it is. I will link everyone to, I don't know why it gives us like a big alphanumeric code thing. It's not like eBay Live /sellers/ Catch 'em all collectibles. It's ebay.com/eBay Live/sellers/ this lengthy alphanumeric thing. So there's like the dashboard, the home page for all upcoming Catch 'em all collectible streams. We will be live. When I say we, I mean everyone in the thumbnail. Aside from me, I'm going to be the only one not live. PK either. PK will be there eventually at some point. Fanatics is going to be his primary, and generally as Catch 'em all collectibles, our primary spot is going to be Fanatics, but eBay is going to be brought up as well. And who knows, like as of today, everything that I know, everything that I've gone through, experienced, seen, Fanatics is the primary. But like, talk to me 4 years ago, Troll and Toad Evo was my primary. Talk to me 2 years ago, eBay was my primary. eBay proper, not eBay Live. And it's Fanatics now. So wherever the winds of change take me, I will gladly go. I will not resist. I will ride the wave. I will ride the wave wherever it's headed. But yeah, click that link. And tomorrow you've got Spat going live tomorrow. And then you've got the next night, you will have we should put it in our titles. I see we don't have it in our titles. But you're gonna have Spat on Wednesday. You're going to have Skya on Thursday, and you're going to have Ponga on Friday, and then you're going to have Skya again on Saturday with Metazoo. So we're not going to go 24/7, 365 right out of the gate. But if you look back to, there are some replays. Skya has done 5 eBay Metazoo streams already. So we've been doing a little bit of Metazoo here and there. We're coming in with Pokemon, though. We're coming in with Pokemon Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we'll be back with Metazoo on Saturday. A lot of it's up in the air. A lot of it will be guided by the guys' schedules, and it will be guided by the consumers' schedules as well. When are the buyers buying? If they're buying at all. If it doesn't work out, maybe we'll pivot back more into just fully fleshing out and filling out the stream schedule on Fanatics. But eBay's there. We're going to give it a shot, and we're going to see how it goes. Maybe there will be more names, aside from those you saw on the thumbnail eventually. Maybe not. Some things up in the air, remains to be seen how things go. But yeah, as of now, you've got me kind of doing a lot of the sourcing. And then Spat is actually going to be doing more of his own singles. Sky's going to be doing more of his own singles. PK and Ponga, they are stocked. They are stocked very deep. with all the singles and slabs and packs for the Fanatics operation. So they're going to be selling my own stuff primarily. Just like on Fanatics, they occasionally sell some of their own stuff. But go check them out. There will be dollar auctions. There will be dollar auctions. One thing we're doing, and Nick, we talked about this on PokeFlips last week. Nick thinks I will regret this. Nick thinks that I will walk back on it with my tail between my legs. I don't intend to. I don't want to. And let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat as I say my theory. And maybe it's just hopium, copium. Maybe I will get destroyed on this sentiment, on this thought. But what we're doing differently on eBay Live is we are doing free shipping on everything. And the way that Fanatics works, Fanatics, we don't even get to decide as a stream. Fanatics is $4.95 shipping for the first order, or $4.95 shipping if you buy 1,000 orders. If you spend $1 million in one stream on 1,000 orders, you pay $4.95 shipping. If you buy one item for $1, you pay $4.95 shipping. On eBay, we're doing free. We're doing free for everything. Part of my reasoning for that, part of what I think it does is, say you're in a live stream. Say you're in a live stream on a Wednesday night, and Spat's running singles. If you haven't paid shipping yet, if you haven't done an order yet, and Spat puts up maybe a nice, he's not going to be running Metazoo, maybe he puts up a nice single, and maybe the single's $2-3, whatever it is. If you know that you're paying your dollar bid plus $5 shipping, you're going to be less likely to bid. And you're going to be like, I'm capping at 1. I'm not going to go to 3, 4, 5 because I'm already paying 5 on shipping. So I think free shipping will really benefit a lot of the $1 auctions, bringing them up into that $2, $3 tier more frequently. And there's no way to know. You either run with free shipping or you run with paid shipping, and you can't like simultaneously experiment in both. You can only live in the one universe. So Nick tried it for a year. He saw the big number. He saw the big number, and I'm not going to share his number that he shared with me. I don't think he shared this. Maybe it was shared right on PokeFlips. If so, you can go find the number there. But anyways, he shared the big 5-figure number of fees that he paid in shipping. But I said, Nick, what you'll never know is how many more dollars in bids that you get. Theoretically, say in 2026. Say I run a year in 2026 with Spat and PK and Ponga and Skya streaming all year long. Dollar singles, pack rips, everything, free shipping. I might spend $10,000 a month in shipping. I might spend $120,000 in shipping. But did my, well, one, if I'm selling booster boxes, if I'm selling 36 pack lots, I can factor the shipping in. So like that's easy enough there. That I just compensate for it on that regard. But on the dollar singles, the $2, the $3, the $5, $10 singles, if they're not paying $5 shipping on that first item, I might gain an additional $60,000 worth of bids throughout the year. So maybe you see the 120, but it's only costing you the 60, right? And at the end of the day, it's like, if it's costing me $120,000 a year, but the net profit after paying all that is some reasonable number, like it could make sense. It could make sense to be the differentiator. Hey, you go buy from those other guys, and they're gonna nail you with shipping, and maybe they're gonna nail you with higher than $1 auction starts, and maybe we're gonna try our thing. And the way that it works too, it's my eBay platform. I'm paying the shipping fee, so I kind of told the guys, like, at my own risk, to my own detriment, I'm giving them additional runway by trying the free shipping thing. I will be bearing the brunt of the free shipping because my eBay account is the one. ESEs we're gonna use eBay standard envelopes for under $20 where we can. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. And it might fail spectacularly. I might be making a video in a month, in a year, in 2 years, saying it was a horrible mistake doing free shipping. And Nick actually did it. Nick did it for, I forget for how long. And I remember he got some pushback. When he went from free shipping to charged shipping, he got some pushback from his buyers. Maybe he lost some buyers entirely. I don't know if he would know anecdotally, like certain usernames that just went away entirely. But you definitely do run the risk of alienating a consumer base that you built over a year if you revert on some policy change as big as free shipping. So we'll see what happens. I think, and again, I'm entirely open to being wrong, just like I am on every take on this channel. Every price prediction, everything I do, I'm putting it all out there, open for criticism, open for being completely wrong and getting wrecked on something. But I truly think we will be like, hey, Catch 'em All Collectibles is live. They're the guys that I can go buy a $1 single and pay $1 all in. I can pay $1 out the door, and 3 to 5, 8, 10. I don't know how long ESE takes these days in general, but 3 to 5 business days later, I will get that single in my mailbox, and I will have paid $1 all in for it, theoretically, if they just buy the one thing. So I truly think your $1, $3, $5 auctions go for more because of it. And I think that there's like an invisible, impossible to measure boost to your streams in general. Could be wrong. It's impossible to measure, but yeah, we'll see. Nostalgianomics PK and Dan stream when? I'd be open to it if either of them would host. I generally Pokeflips, I host other people on there. This one I don't really do it as much, but they both host people on occasion. So Alex, PK, if you're listening, I would gladly join the three of you on any of our channels. I guess if they agreed to it, I could fire up a special event on this channel as well. I believe they're good to go. I believe they've squashed the beef of years ago, as they've said. But anyways, yeah, go check out. I posted it earlier. Go check out the streams right there. I'll post it again. Bookmark them. Follow us as a seller. We will be potentially getting destroyed on $1 auctions. Always $1 auctions. Always starting at $1, no matter what we're selling. And we will have buy it nows for like pack rips and things like that. But we won't start an auction above $1, and we won't charge anything on shipping, no matter how many items you get. 1 item or 100 items, free shipping. Subject to change. I'm not saying that's going to be a forever thing, but that's what we're trying. So yeah. Mason says, "Stay the hell off our turf, Dan." Mason, we're coming in hot. We're coming in hot. You see those guys in the thumbnail? They're coming for market share. They smell blood in the water. It's a while others are charging extra shipping per card to pay streamers and line pockets, the free shipping is a great idea. I forget the timing, Walrus, and you might know. What exactly was the time frame for Nick having had free shipping? How long did it last? He might have reverted it at the start of this year. I think he saw his 2024 shipping costs, and he's like, oh, crap, I can't do that anymore. And then I think January of this year is approximately when he started charging shipping. But we're going to see what happens. Honestly, I don't know how it works. This is something that I probably should know at this point. Mason, Mr. Walrus, we have some resident eBay Live experts in here. Can international people buy? Certainly not free international shipping. The way that it would work, if it works like eBay does, I'm barely an eBay seller these days. Guy's running the eBay operation. He's selling mostly Metazoo singles. But the way eBay used to work, a year, 2 years ago when I used to use it directly myself, fulfilling the orders, I would do free shipping on everything anyways. I did free shipping everything domestically, but I would do free shipping to the GSP or to EIS, Global Shipping Program. It used to be years ago. Then it was eBay International Shipping. And then if the buyer buys, I'm shipping domestically to the international shipping forwarder, and then the buyer's paying like $20 shipping or something. So maybe that works with eBay Live. I'm not entirely sure, though. I'm not entirely sure. SCJ says, can we request consignment payouts in GP, please? I am very, very broke in RuneScape, so unfortunately I cannot pay you out in RuneScape GP. If you want me to do it at bond rates, that would be pretty dark. I guess I could buy a bond with your consignment funds, and then I could pay you in-game gold. We could meet up at the Theater of Blood Bank or something, and I could pay you that, but we'll see. I'm going to scroll back up because I think I missed some other questions, but yeah. Hit me with your questions. I'm going for the next 75 minutes until 4 p.m. Eastern. Appreciate everyone being here on a fairly short notice Tuesday afternoon stream. Because I'm going to the water park tomorrow. My kid's school starts Thursday. So next Thursday, my kid's school starts. Next Monday is Labor Day. So banks and post office and all that is off. But my wife starts superintendent's conference days, they call them, or whatever, Tuesday. So she has Tuesday, Wednesday. She has all week aside from the Monday holiday. And then the kids go Thursday. They go for 2 days to start the year. We got Walrus and Mason going back at the lining pockets comment. Paying for shipping equals lining our pockets. 10 cards at 4 ounce and paying $10 to ship. Yes, lining pockets. That's, yeah, slab singles. That's why, honestly, to me, again, this might age poorly. Flip it, ship it, save it somewhere in your bookmarked clips. I think if someone has been, like, we have sold as a stream team, Catch 'em All Collectibles has sold $5 slabs on Fanatics. And I truly think, like, some of them might be bidding 5 because they would have paid 10. They would have paid 10, but they're paying 5 shipping. So it's like, if I'm getting charged $4.95 shipping, I'm going to bid 5 because 5 plus 5 is 10, right? So I might be wrong here. I probably am to some extent, some percentage. It's not going to be fully wrong or fully right. It's going to be to what percentage. It's going to be where in the gray area does it land. But my thinking is, like, somebody who would bid $5 for a slab on Walrus's stream, old school stream, Thrifty, Mason, Chef, BB, I started naming everyone, and I'm gonna leave some, Bierski. Someone who would bid $5 on one of their streams might bid 8 or 9 on one of our streams for the same slab because they know it's going to be ship free. That's the hope. That's the thought. How it plays out in practice, we will kind of find out, but we will never fully know, right? Because you can never know what they would have bid otherwise. But anyways, technically international shouldn't access US lives, but a few find ways. So maybe there's a way if you have a one of those U-ship forwarding programs, whatever it is. Hey Dan, how's the marriage going? The marriage is going actually excellently. Just got back from my 10th anniversary trip to Rhode Island this past weekend. That was, maybe I'll talk about that later in the stream. But yeah, that was a very solid trip. Toes to Kane clearly watched the Charlotte Collecticon recap. Let's see. Let me make sure I didn't miss any other questions, and then I will get back to live chat. Ponga says, "Hey, that's me. Since when am I a mod?" I think you've been a mod for a while. I feel like you made a comment about it at one point, and then I modded you that day. How's it going, Garen? How's it going, BB? BB, you made this comment at 2:30 p.m. I can see the timestamp on my side. I don't know if you can. At 2:30 p.m., when I still had time, I still had about 25 seconds. He said, "Late, I'm very surprised." I saw that comment come in as I was clicking go live. Krabby's Cards also there with a call out too. Catch 'em, I clicked live when it was still on 30 collectibles. That's exactly how I started my live stream. That's exactly how I start all my live streams, saying that I was just in time. Or I do apologize when I'm late, but I'm not apologizing today. I didn't see Dan's face until 2:31 Eastern time. Can you check out if your distro has some 151 available? Seen some big restock in my LCS. I actually bought some stuff this morning and yesterday morning. I had a couple small things come in at 80, 85, 90% of market through my distros. And I bought a little bit of stuff. There was some Twilight Masquerade. There was some Surging Sparks. And there was some Destined Rivals, I believe. But no 151. No 151 from my distros. So, yeah, that's as of this morning. I didn't see any. Kids' first day of school here in Iowa. When school kickoff in New York? I hadn't seen this question, but I covered that a couple minutes ago. So teachers and superintendents and principals go Tuesday for 2 days, and then kids go Thursday. So next Thursday. Fortnightly live, not coming at night nor from a fort. False advertisement. How's it going, Sam? Nice to see you. Hey, you go live on an afternoon, midday. You get some of the UK folk in here. Sam from across the pond. Hope all is going well over there. I think Sam's actually been firing up some eBay Live. I saw Pokey Chloe, I think, did an eBay Live as well. So they're getting that going. They're getting that going on the other side of the pond as well, which is nice to see. Ponga's 2026 goal is to meet Quilly. Quilly, again, I shouted it out in Pokey Flips, but Quilly had a great chat with Zen Force TCG. Go check that out if you had not seen it live. Jork says, it's my 2025 goal to meet Ponga. Please stream exclusively at the same times as Old School. We actually were going to do Saturday night. I didn't, this was not intentional. Cardinal, if you're out there listening still. Old School, if you're out there listening. We initially planned on doing it like this Saturday. And then I ended up finding out that it's Walrus is doing his kickoff stream for the first time. The 31st, I believe, Pokey Chef, Cardinal. they're doing their anniversary stream on the platform. So it ended up being a big weekend. But one thing, I've had this conversation privately with Nick and probably with some other people too. It's like, if the platform is going to be big enough to like grow into the future and like support our businesses individually, like the only way that's reasonably going to happen is the platform needs to grow a lot. And there's going to be no way. I know in the YouTube space too. It's like in the YouTube space, I try to coordinate. PK goes live every Thursday night. When I can, I try to not go live Thursday nights, but sometimes it just doesn't work out to where I can. And we have a lot of overlap between our following. I'm sure between Cardinal and Old School and myself, the Catch 'em All Collectible crew, there's probably quite a bit of overlap between all of our followings on eBay Live, or there will be. But for the platform to like sustain into the long future, it needs to grow a lot, and it needs to be able to handle me and Nick and Weedle and Cardinal. It needs to be able to handle 50 of us live, like not 50 that we know, like 5 or 10 people within our circle, within our little bubble, need to be able to be live at the same time. Otherwise, it's like the platform is doomed if it can't handle that. And one thing we haven't done on Fanatics yet, which I've actually talked with PK and Ponga about, is we've never double dipped. So as a platform, Fanatics and eBay have the functionality where, like on Fanatics, I have the Catch 'em All Collectibles account, and I've given the rights. I've made a link between our accounts to PK, to Ponga, to Skya, where they are like a sub account that's allowed to stream on it. Technically speaking, Skya, PK, and Ponga could all be live at the same time on Fanatics. I was actually shocked to hear that that wasn't a thing. Actually, appreciate you, Ray Shining Cards and Collectibles, with the 20 gifted memberships. Whatnot doesn't have that functionality, which was shocking to me. That's actually one spot that, as far as I understand, Whatnot is lagging behind Fanatics and eBay technologically. But yeah, on Fanatics, PK, Ponga, Skya could all be live at the same time under Catch 'em All Collectibles. Same thing with eBay. We could theoretically have a weekend where not only where me, Weedle, Nick, Chef are all live on different accounts. Like, obviously that could happen. That makes sense. But like within my account, within Catch 'em All Collectibles, Skya, PK, Ponga, Spat could all be live at the same time, theoretically. And hopefully, like Whatnot, you see a lot of accounts, and Fanatics, you see a lot of accounts where there's like one operation live multiple times at the same, with multiple people at the same time. And sometimes it's like, hey, maybe Skya will be live on Friday night at 9 o'clock doing Metazoo, while Spat is live Friday night at 9 o'clock doing Pokemon, or vice. Like the platforms need to be able to handle that at some point. So I've told PK and Ponga, it's like, we should give that a try. The best time to do it would generally be one, if we have an Instant Rips promotion, which if you haven't checked out Instant Rips, go check that out. There's an affiliate link down below for Fanatics Live. You spend $25, you get $25. And Instant Rips, though, is like a digitized, they're all stored in the vault. Basically, they'll have like chase cards, they'll have grail cards, and then they'll have a bunch of the floors. They'll have a bunch of the regular cards. But you buy a spot at, say, $150, and the ceiling is advertised, and there's a full checklist to what cards you can get. You can look at the scans of all the cards on the checklist that you can get. And it's like opening a pack. Instead of getting raw cards, you're getting a random graded booster card. Instead of a booster pack where you're getting 10 raw cards at random, and sometimes you're turning $100 into $1. It's more transparent, I guess, than that. The odds are directly known. You're not guessing is the Moonbriana 1 in 2,000. You're not guessing is the Moonbriana 1 in 2,000. You're not having to worry about like Fanatics is handling all the randomization. So it's a really cool product. But like the night that PK was live, 2 nights in a row, he did $30,000 worth of Instant Rips and barely sold any packs. So it's like Ponga could have been live doing packs, or Destined Rivals release weekend. There's times with PK and Ponga individually where Destined Rivals release weekend, or any release weekend, they might have had a 3-4 hour pack backlog. And it's like, if someone hops in like, hey guys, I want to buy 36 Destined Rivals, how long is it going to take to open them? If PK or Ponga says like, hey, we're 500 packs away, it's going to take 3 hours, then they could go over to if they're in PKs and he says it's a 3 hour backlog, they could go over to Ponga's and they could buy some packs. So at some point, I'd really like to explore further double dipping. Again, kind of like the free shipping thing. I'm the one who's suffering in that instance. Given that I pay PK and Ponga hourly based on what they do on Fanatics. eBay, different streamers, different pay structure. That's a whole different consideration. But like, it's all very interesting. It's all very interesting. It's very new platforms. It's very new business models for me. Less than a year old. As I said, Chef, they're having a 1-year anniversary stream this Sunday. We're going to be having a 1-year anniversary stream in October. Early October, actually card party weekend. I'm still facilitating with Fanatics. I'm still figuring out the details of what we're going to do, but hopefully something really big, something really exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Another thing we're doing, there's going to be some Instagram promotion through various channels, and next Saturday, September 6th, there's going to be a mega XY stream. There's going to be a few different XY era booster boxes. One slot, there will be 36 slots. One slot will be 1 pack each from a few different boxes, and we'll be chasing some big mega cards are all the rage right now, right? You got Mega Brave, Mega Symphonia just came out in Japan, and then you've got the mega sets coming out in English in mid-late September sometime. I believe like 2 weeks after our mega stream. So our mega stream is the 6th. I think it's the weekend. I think it's the 19th. I think it's the 19th that the mega sets come out in English. So yeah, catch Ponga over on Fanatics on September 6th for a mega XY booster box break stream. There's a lot of good stuff coming soon. I'm excited. Bama Grant says, my question is how a guy with such solid content consistently only has 8K YouTube subs. I don't play the game. I'll play the game right now. Hey guys, we've been live for 27 minutes. If you're enjoying the content, hit the like, hit the sub, share it in a Discord, share it somewhere on your Instagram. Put my content out there. That's the best way you can support me. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I'm a bad salesman. I'm a bad marketer. I'm bad at advertising. And I've done some experiments. Let me actually show you. Let me make sure I don't show off my phone lock screen like I've done on YouTube Live before. But I'm going to show you my 30-day YouTube subscriber count. And I'm going to show you what happens when in a video, if you tell people or ask people to like and subscribe, they do it. If you don't ask them to, they don't do it. So I'll show you my last 28 days, my channel analytics. My last 28 days, I've gained 215 subscribers. And I'll show you, there was one day in the past 28 days, I consciously said in a video, I said like, subscribe. And that day I got nearly 40 subscribers at my peak day. The first day, it looks like I got 25 from that one video. And then I got like 20, and then I got like 30 something. So within the first 3 days of that video being live, I got like 70 subscribers. And then look at the rest of my month. So that's my month right there. That's my month right there. That spike is when I asked people to like and subscribe. And some people get mad when you do it. It's really weird because some people get mad if every video people are saying like, hit the like, hit the sub. People do it for a reason. And some people get mad at clickbait, and I've had conversations on that before, but I won't do the kind of clickbait where I just make, like I'll ask a question and then I'll answer the question in the video. I'll answer the question in the live stream. I won't say something completely off the rails that I don't believe in, that I don't follow, that isn't my true belief, just to get people mad and angry and clicking in there. Yeah, Veritasium. I've talked about Veritasium's video before on the clickbait is unreasonably effective, I believe the video is called. But anyways, that's why I only have 8 8K YouTube subs. And then to be further than that, it's not only because I don't play the game in that way, but like I'm nothing special. I think I'm doing Pokemon for business like at a fairly high level, but I still make the videos I want to make. I could play the game more content-wise too. I could talk about the top 5 investments. I've done those videos a couple times, once a year maybe. I just make the videos I want to make. And I talk about Roth IRAs for my kids. This past Monday, I talked about Roth IRAs for my kids. You know how I could have gotten a lot more views than that? I could have just talked about how the compound annual growth rate of every Sun and Moon era booster box. I could have made the 700th video about how Celebrations line is going up. I could have made the 200th video about how Gold Stars line is going up. Gray Felt Hat line is going up. Those are the videos that entertain. I try to more entertain to some extent, educate to some extent, and then just document my journey, which a lot of people don't care about. Like, I know consciously when I make my content, my ceiling is way lower than a PokeRev, than a top 10 Pokemon, than a Nostalgianomics. And I'm not saying anything they're doing is wrong. I'm just doing what's right for me. I'm doing what's right for me, and I know it is antiviral, and I know that my ceiling is low with how tall I am too. Low ceilings are tough with how tall I am, but I'm fine with the low ceiling that I've set for this channel. Genuinely. Julia says, ooh, Dan is live at a good time for Europeans. Good benefits to being live midday. Nice to see some people in different time zones getting the benefit of that. Wow, taking your employees out for a water park day, great boss. Absolutely. The kids are both, as if you watched my video Monday, the kids are both on the payroll. The kids are both proud owners of Roth IRAs. They're not fully set up yet. They're being established very, very soon, and they will be being funded, and my kids will be Pokemillionaires because of it, as my video detailed. Let me make sure I didn't miss any other comments, and then I'm gonna keep going. I'm ending my live in about an hour, and I feel like I'm way too far behind chat. Sky that one go, absolutely. Fat Belly says, if you had to pass down one asset to your children, what would you choose? Your crypto, the S&P 500, gold, or your real estate? Easily the S&P 500. I think crypto could do things really, like, crypto could do big things. Pokemon could do big things. I have a tiny bit of gold, silver. Real estate, obviously, there's the function of it. You need to live somewhere. But I truly, more than anything else, and that's why I talk about the buckets the way that I do. More than anything else, I believe in the S&P 500. You are betting on the productive output of humanity. I'm betting on America. I'm betting on America. I'm betting on humanity as a whole. It's not even just America. It is humanity as a whole. Most of the S&P 500 components are global companies that you're buying into the productive assets of trillions of dollars of human property and all that, like, productive output and capital. And it's yeah, I've talked on that a lot. Nice to catch a live for a change. Hope you and the family are well. We're doing very well. Thank you for that, and likewise to you. Krabby's card says Metazoo Saturday was a blast. It is going to be weekly as long as it keeps up. As long as the people are there buying, we will be happy to be there selling. Just hanging out. How's it going, Steven? I see you in here. Guess I know what to tune into to source some steals this week. Absolutely. Like, we welcome flippers into the eBay live streams, the Fanatic live streams, because if you've got people in there that know the prices and your stuff's going for 30% of market, if you got a couple flippers in there, you're going to raise the floor to like 50, 60, 70% of market, because they're going to be savvy. They're going to know, like, I can buy this and I can make money. So yeah, it's good to have flippers in there. What do you think of the Kevin O'Leary purchase? Do you think this will open the door to more corporate money engaging with TCG investing? Probably. That's one thing that I've said many, many times. In our Patreon, Jake has done a presentation on this a couple years ago about how tiny the market cap was in Pokemon, graded vintage Pokemon especially. And if and when Pokemon ever gets the mainstream nature, the investor type nature of following that sports has, if that kind of money, I think it was a meme in certain discords for a while, if all of the market cap of Moonbryon, if all of the market cap of Van Gogh went into Jungle First Edition Hollows, Fossil First Edition Hollows, they memed on it for a long time, but, like, genuinely that is a thing that could happen. And these concepts of, like, the rookie cards and the gold stars and the old school EXs and the first legend cards, and those things could be very, and I say this holding zero of them. I have, well, zero. Holding minimal of them. I own very few slabs in general. I own very few. And if they do what I don't think they could do it. Like, I know they could do it. They're not guaranteed to do it, but I know that there's some percent chance. Like if Pokemon really grows more into the mainstream, I set this back when it was a $1,500 card. I first owned this when it was maybe a $100 card, couple $100 card, 10 plus years ago. And it's $3,000 to $5,000 now. I don't know what it is exactly. This truly could be a $50,000 card someday. Do I think it will be? I genuinely have no clue. But, like, it could be. The bull case is there. PSA 10 base first Charizard could be a multi-million-dollar card. The precedent is there in other hobbies and comics and coins and sports, and we'll see what happens. But absolutely it could happen, and you need to factor that into your EV calculations, I guess, on what you're projecting. Can't wait to buy Dan's eBay Live singles to sell on eBay Live. Torrential Tides is insane. My first interaction with the zoo. The art is incredible. You feel good after every box. Legend rares are goated. I agree, but I am very biased, as I mentioned. Sam says wild free shipping is a little crazy. You doing all bubble matter? No, we're gonna do ESE under 20. Sorry, I didn't catch this when it was live. The fact people say we are wild for free shipping is why I think it'll work. Go Dan. I truly, the more people that think I'm crazy, the more people that like think it can't work, I feel like it makes it more likely that it will work. I think there'll be some buyer hype around it. I think there'll be a lot more people getting those. I've said it 10 times already this stream, but those $2, $3 bids will turn into $5, $6 bids. Those $1 bids will turn into $3, $4 bids, and it'll add up. Question, I have no idea how any of it works. I farm, my investments are assets, but you have my interest in starting something for my kids. Any particular reason you went Roth over 529? So very quickly, I'm in New York. I think every state is different, but New York has a 529 that only allows, so say I save for my kids. Let me do a quick pros cons. Pros, I can save my money for my kids in a 529. Whereas an IRA, it needs to be earned income. So if you have a newborn baby, when I had a newborn baby, I saved my money into a 529 for them. 529, a con is that it's for education expenses. It's more limited in its scope, what it can do. A Roth IRA, or even a traditional IRA, the benefit is that it can be for your first home purchase. It can be for college. You can take out the contributions. You can't take out the gains. But it's a lot more flexible. 529, if I pay my kids $3,000 a year, was the example I used in the video that I made. If I pay my kids $3,000 a year, that is only a state income deduction for me personally. Whereas if I'm paying them salary and they're putting that into the Roth IRA, it is a federal and a state deduction for me. So I'm not only saving the 10% state marginal tax rate, I'm saving the 30-40% federal marginal tax rate. And maybe your situation is different. Maybe your marginal federal tax rate is 10% or 20%, or maybe it's 47%. Like, everyone's is going to be different. So what is optimal for each person? As I always say, personal finance is very personal. But Roth is just like a supercharged 529. The hurdle you have to clear is a big one. It needs to be earned income. So if you clear that hurdle, I can't think of a way in which Roth loses to 529. Another con of Roth is that IRAs, the maximum individual contribution, I believe, is $7,000 a year. So it has a low limit. It has a low limit is one. 529 limit is relatively low too. I don't know what that one is, but maybe it's a little bit higher. Maybe it's lower. I genuinely don't know. Go crazy. Charge me shipping, but free packs and singles. Let's go way outside the box. Charge shipping only, and then everything else is free. But Nick went in a year and a half with free shipping. That's interesting. I'm sure you saw the leak of the Mega Charizard X. Do you think it's real? I saw one leak where Mega was spelled wrong. The evolution box of the Charizard looked like a mutant Charmander. So like I saw one that was clearly fake, and then I saw another one that I think was real. I'm not a big spoiler guy though. I'm too engaged with YouTube and Discord, and then to a smaller extent, I'm engaged with Instagram. So like I can't avoid seeing spoilers. If I could click a button that would just instantly remove spoilers from everywhere, I would rather do that, but it's not feasible for me. So like I saw it. It's probably real, at least the real looking one. One was obviously fake that I saw. But yeah. Well, that's interesting. Sam says in the UK, eBay Live is specifically only for UK and they can't offer international shipping. That's interesting. UAP says he can access buying from Walrus. BB wants to know, curious Walrus, what is your average number of items sold per customer per stream? I wish we would get some data. The Cardinal operation seems like a pretty black box operation. They don't share too much data, too much information. maybe behind the paywall, Jake in the future will share some. I know he tracks and monitors the data. I think he tracks and monitors it a lot more closely than I do. But I'm really interested to see what data, if any, comes out of there. And then Nick had it for a while. Shout out to Mr. Walrus. He shared some with me over a year ago now. But I don't think they're keeping up with it too much. If you had to choose one asset to pass down to your children in 40 years and had to put 100K into it right now, what are you putting 100K into to pass down to your kids? Oh, I don't know if this is a follow-up to the old question, or maybe you asked this one first, but adding like a specific amount of money, easily. Like, even if you put Pokemon in here, you didn't say sealed Pokemon, but if I had to put 100 grand into one thing and it had to sit there, they could not sell, they could not buy more for 40 years, I would put 100 grand into the S&P 500, bar none, easily. Crypto could way outperform. Like, any of these could way outperform, but I have the highest level of confidence in the S&P 500. I am as confident as I can be. Historically speaking, real adjusted terms, doubling, 10% rate, 7% rate leads to doubling every 10 years. So I'm quite confident. My 100,000 in 10 years, it'd be 200,000. And in 10 years again, it would be 400,000, and then it would be $800,000. So, or that's after 30 years. 10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah, you'd have 4 doublings. So the 100K would go to 200, 400, 800, $1.6 million. I'm as confident as I can be that the 100K that I pass down to my kids, 40 years in the S&P 500, would be approximately $1.6 million. Could be multiple millions, certain time frames in the 150-year history of the S&P 500. Certain time frames, it might have only been 500,000 to 800,000 or something like that. But yeah, I've gone on and on about that, but I think it's a good question. And I think a ton of people in this space, obviously fairly biased in this space, I think a lot of people would answer sealed Pokemon. And I'm just not as confident that $100,000 pallet. And mind you, the pallet experiment is underway. The pallet experiment is going very well right now. I truly believe that I will be, if I'm fortunate enough to be healthy and around in 40 years, I'll make a video. I'll make a 40-year update video on, by then the pallet will likely have been sold. But I truly think over the 40-year time frame, I think the pallet loses to the S&P 500 with the compounding, with all that. I'll make more videos like my one on Monday that I just made. But there's a lot of reasons that I truly, really believe that. Thought I was a mod in flips and not here. Maybe it's the other way around. I'm not sure. Heard someone is giving away Labubus this weekend. I think Mr. Walrus is making his first live stream, and yeah, I did see the Instagram story with the Labubu giveaway. Dan, are your streams still opening lots of Destined Rivals, or are you back to Prismatic being the most purchased pack? I will give you, ask and you shall receive. I just updated the stream data yesterday, and in the past, I'm still getting used to, I majorly overhauled the formatting of my sheet. In the past week, our biggest set was Surging Sparks. We did have a Surging Sparks bounty though. So that's one thing with, like, even the data that I keep, there's always confounding factors into, like, the data will never be truly pure. Like if I'm looking right now without context, if I look at the same way that I used to look at the data, we've only sold 2,383 booster packs in the past week. And for most of 2025, we've been averaging 4,000 or 5,000 packs a week. But one big confounding factor is I haven't yet added to my formula. We've been ripping a lot. We've been ripping a lot of 151. So not 151. Chinese. I was looking at my thing. I was reading 151 Chinese. We've been ripping a lot of Chinese packs. So, and we've also had a lot of instant rips the past week. So we had a couple days where almost nobody bought packs because everyone was buying instant rips. So if you look at my data, like, I'm trying to capture the market. I'm trying to capture, like, the market demand over time via how many English packs a week sell. Well, at one point I was only selling English packs, and then I started adding Japanese. And sure, it's like, hey Dan, you could just measure the amount of Japanese packs you sell. It's not one-to-one though. So you have to contextualize it. And then a few weeks ago, we added Chinese, and then we've been doing more instant rips. So it's like, there's a lot of things pushing and pulling that make our data not perfect. And soon, at some point soon, I know PK has some travel. PK has some personal travel coming up in the next couple of weeks that I'm sure he'll talk about on his live stream. And I wonder how he's going to do that. Stay tuned to PK because he's going to have to talk you through how he's going to do his live stream. But anyways, he'll be missing Fanatics streams for a handful of days in a row, and Sky will fill in. And Sky doesn't have the packs that PK has. Sky's going to have a few select sets. PK has everything since Sword and Shield base. Even Spat on eBay Live. Spat is not going to have. I don't have the capital. I don't have the inventory to keep Spat as stocked as I have PK and Ponga. So when I start like adding in all this other data, when people start changing their stream times, January PK wasn't full time. February PK was full time. So it's like that data all needs to be contextualized. And even though I'm not trying to mess with my data, it's impossible to have it be like one-to-one, apples to apples. It's always evolving. It's always changing. How come full-time grading is easier than full-time show vending? I think you're stating that as if it's like an objective fact, and I'm not sure that it is. I think some people have a better time doing full-time vending, and I think certain people have a better time doing full-time grading. I think they're both serviceable. I think if I had to only full-time vend, or if I had to only full-time grade, I think I could make a very hefty wage doing either full-time. I don't want to do either full-time. I like doing a bit of both, but yeah, I don't think one is inherently easier than the other. I think both are great though. Appreciate you, Ray. Congrats to Dan and the team. Wish you guys all the success. This was back when he gifted the 20, 30 minutes ago. Trying to catch up. Weedle doing a big stream Sunday. Daniel, please don't exclude the GOAT. Sorry, Weedle. I didn't. I wasn't aware of his timing, but yeah, there's a lot of streams going on this weekend, and into the future. Like, there's gonna always be a lot of big streams going on. Yeah, for the platform to sustain, it needs to get out of beta for sure. I'm so far behind. I'm trying to catch up. I'm gonna get caught up though. I don't see anyone as competition. We need everyone to eat and push the platform forward. 100% I agree. We need, like, the whatnot pie is massive. We, like, the eBay live pie and the Fanatics live pie are tiny. Theoretically, I guess, a very small operation could sustain into eternity if the platform just stays tiny and not many new consumers come in and not many new sellers come in. But how we all win the most is if eBay Live grows from this into this, if Fanatics grows as well. So I want to see more big names coming. Like, hopefully, Cardinal team, hopefully the Weedle team, hopefully the old school Pokemon team see Catch 'em All Collectibles bringing a few new streamers as like, hey, they're going to bring some people in that are going to end up being our buyers too. They're going to be their buyers, and maybe we'll trade some people. Maybe some people will like some of my guys better than some of the other people's. I shouldn't say guys and gals. Shout out to Thrifty with old school Pokemon, but that just needs to happen. The platform needs to grow, and we need to substantially grow the pie. So I see it the same way. We can all win together if we do it the right way. So the competition is yourselves for sure. How are you planning to scale your sourcing, singles, and packs as you scale streamers? Are you having to search harder now? So what I'm doing tentatively right now. I won't get into the full particulars of everyone's setup, but Ponga and PK pretty much sell all my stuff. Single slabs and packs. We sell primarily packs on Fanatics. eBay seems to be a lot more of a singles platform. So like Spat is doing all his own singles, and I'm giving him a certain percentage of that. And then he's doing my packs, and I'm giving him a certain percentage of that. That might be subject to change. We might have to make that dynamic into the future, especially the whole free shipping thing. Like, we'll figure it out as we go, but generally speaking, I guess the most succinct way to answer that is just that Spat is sourcing his own singles, and he's just using my packs, and I have the ability to source more packs than we can sell. So I'm good, at least for now. Let's see. Spats cards, go Birds. I did have my my in-person fantasy football draft the other day. It was Sunday night. That was a good time. Instant Rips is indeed Giga Juice. Please don't do 2 Metazoo streams at once. The 5 viewers can't split evenly. The platform will implode. I definitely agree. If and when we do multiple streams at the same time on the same platform, one will be Metazoo, one will be Pokemon, or two will be Pokemon. We will not go for two Metazoo, at least not anytime soon. But hopefully the thought is that in the coming months and years, we could have two Metazoo streamers at once. Oh, sorry, Sky, I didn't know you were here. The hope is someday that right now, across eBay, Fanatics, whatnot, there are multiple Pokemon streams, hundreds of viewers, if not thousands of viewers spread across the platforms, going on 24/7, 365. Hopefully Metazoo can be some fraction of that. Hopefully it can be like a thing into the future. We'll see though. Then we need to talk about 1 year because I ain't going to Seattle. I don't know if you're memeing or if you're like, are you saying you're 100% like you cannot make card party? If not, let me know. I mean, I'm busy traveling tomorrow and Thursday, but we do need to start figuring that out soon. And I already have some things working on the back end with Fanatics Live, but I do need to facilitate with I know PK can't go to card party, so we can figure something out. Maybe what we do is we do earlier in the evening, I send you a bunch of goodies, have a bunch of good stuff ready for you, and then you do a 3-4 hour stream and you raid right into PK's night stream, and he goes as long as people stay awake. We'll see what happens though. One pack from multiple sets in some thematic way is such a cheat code. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it goes. We've done so January through May, we did base unlimited through Rocket First Edition. And those all went well, but it's like you're doing, the theme is the one set. Whereas here it's like I guess I'll just say what the sets are, because the Instagram posts and the marketing from Fanatics side will be going out in the next few days, I think. But we are going to do Breakthrough. You've got the Mewtwo's. You've got the 2 secret rare Mewtwo's, the blue one, the red one. You've got the Mega Mewtwo. A lot of cool stuff in that set. And these sets are like, this is when I got back in the hobby. Breakthrough is like 2015, 2016. I got back in 2014. Phantom Forces was a little bit rich to go for the first one of the XY variety type stream. But we're doing Breakthrough. We're doing Steam Siege. Yes, I know. I told my Fanatics Live rep, and he's like, Steam Siege, are you serious? We've actually had, PK and Ponga have sold some Steam Siege Loosh packs that we had, and they went. There's a Gardevoir in them. Mega Brave, Mega Symphonia. You've got the Lucario, and you've got the Gardevoir. So if you know the XY era, you've got Gardevoir in Steam Siege. You've got the secret rare, you've got the Mega, and then you've also got Furious Fist with Lucario. So we're doing Furious Fist, Steam Siege, Breakthrough, and then just for good measure, we're doing not this Evolutions box. I'm buying a new one to keep my PC one, but we're doing Evolutions as well. So it's going to be those 4 packs. You get one of each pack, and we're chasing Charizard, Mega Charizard. We're chasing Mega Mewtwo. We're like, I think it'll be fun, and maybe they won't all sell out. Maybe I'll get wrecked, but we're gonna do 4 unweighed packs. You rip them, and maybe Fanatics will have some kind of a bounty on some of the bigger chase cards. That's remains to be seen, but I think it'll be pretty interesting. Dan gives too many disclaimers. He removes so much of the potential chat engagement he could get. Can you give us a top 5 barbecue meats? Brisket, pork belly, burnt ends, dino ribs, then burnt ends again, but brisket burnt ends this time, and then probably pulled pork. I feel like I'm missing something, but that's probably it. Brisket, pork belly, burnt ends, dino ribs, brisket, burnt ends, pulled pork. Definitely missed some, but I had to give it quick so I can not be too late here. Ray, watch the boxed episode. We already did that. What's boxed? True. Would you sell vintage right now or long hold? I have so little vintage that like the little bit that I do have, I'm long holding, But I'm like, I know what this could do. I truly think that this card someday might be $25,000 or $50,000. I'm not speculating it though. This is truly people like me. If this ever goes to 50,000, it will be because of people like me. It will be because of consumers. Like investors can make the prices move a lot at times. They make a lot of the bubbly thing happens at times. They make the big quick move happens. But for anything to sustain, for these things to go up over time, you truly do need like consumers who just want the product. Like I just want this card. If this card becomes $25,000 like next month, there's no way this card is going to 10x in a month. But if it did, I would probably have to sell for the sheer lunacy of it. And then maybe I'd never own it again. But I don't think it's going to. And I think there's a chance that I own this card still in 10 years, because even if it goes up a bunch, hopefully all my sealed specs, hopefully all my other stuff is doing well and I'm doing well financially. So it's like, it's a lot more money, but it's not proportionally relative to my net worth, relative to my cash flow, relative to my spending. It probably would be, but relative to the other things, hopefully I'll be able to just keep it. But on that note, like as I said, I'm very much like, this is, I never tell people what to do. I just tell people what I'm doing and why. I don't own many slabs. I don't like the product. I like the product. I like the presentation. I don't like grading companies. I don't like grading companies. PSA, CGC, PGS, tag. I don't care which one it is. I don't like them that much. I like that what they can do for the business, so I use them in that way. But I just don't like a lot of the things that they do. I don't like the inconsistency of it. The science brain in me just is not pleased with the inconsistency and all that. So that's part of the reason why I don't spec on them. But I truly think one of the two of the, and I like, this is not me saying this for the first time. If you go back four years on this channel, through the 4 years on this channel, videos, live streams everywhere, the thing that I like most and I hold most is like ultra modern sealed. I just like it. I think it's gonna perform best. It's performed really well in the past. That's what I sell too. We've sold year to date. We've sold what is that? That's not right. Year to date. Oh, that's inventory. I was gonna say, I don't know why that's. Let me go to sales. Sorry, my spreadsheet is disorganized. I was trying to get the number we've sold year to date. Here it is. So we have sold 127,000 packs year to date. I really like the attrition that one side of my business is putting on what the other side of my business is holding. But like the pallets, the speculations that I play, the investments that I make. Whereas with slabs, like I need the slabs to go up. I need other people to like start buying them more, appreciating them more. Whereas with the packs, it's like I feel like I'm materially participating in the attrition, in the deflationary aspect of my pallets going up over time. So yeah, I like that aspect of it a lot more. Dan, I hyped up your video on YouTube yesterday. Did it do something? Are you viral yet? LOL, I have no idea what the hype up function does. Is that a thing? Is there like a button that you can press hype up on? I don't know what that is. I know about the like button. I know about the subscribe button, and that's it. How wrong were you about sell it all, 0 by fall? As wrong as one could be. Hey Dan, got a question for you. Are you surprised Modern like Team Up has surpassed WotC Unlimited like Gym Heroes, Jungle, and Fossil? Are previously accepted fundamentals being challenged? I'm pretty surprised that Team Up has surpassed WotC Unlimited like Gym Heroes and stuff. But that said, I've never liked. I'm not a consumer of Unlimited WotC. I've always done, except for base because I'm too broke for base at first edition. I've never like I've done box breaks. I've sold heavy packs. I've never dabbled really in the unlimited boxes aside from base set unlimited. I'm not a big fan of, and it's weird because like I'm not a fan of the first edition stamp overall. But if it's there, I have to have it. So it works. But yeah, I've always been the first edition. Like it's got to be the first edition stamp if it's there. And Are previously accepted fundamentals being challenged? I don't know exactly what that means, but this stuff is all arbitrary. This stuff is all arbitrary. And Team Up was short printed. Team Up didn't have a reprint, all that stuff. We don't know exactly how much Team Up was printed, but certainly one thing that we do know, WotC was very high print runs relative to 2003 to 2012 at a minimum. And some of the sets in the 2018, 2019 timeframe probably were printed. Like, there were probably a lot less Team Up boxes printed than WotC Unlimited Jungle. But WotC Unlimited Jungle is 25 years old, and it's been some amount of attrition for 25 years. So I don't know, but I think a lot of people get hung up on these fundamentals or these things that they think will just be universal truths forever. And I think that can come back to bite them, because all this stuff is just made up. All this stuff is what we as a market cumulatively decide it is. And a lot of irrational things can happen. They say the markets can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. That's like traditional markets. Traditional markets with like real money, with trillions of dollars, can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. Collectible markets that are like a few $1 billion, this stuff is inherently pure irrationality. Literally all of this is intrinsic value of 0. This is all irrational. None of it ever has made sense. None of it ever needs to make sense. So it's like Moonbryon could be $10,000 and PSA 9 first edition Charizard could be $10,000. Probably won't ever be, but like they could be. There's no reason that they couldn't be. History has shown that like they probably won't ever be comics and coins and sports cards, and there's a lot of precedent that like a PSA 9 base first Charizard probably has the fundamentals that it will never be at or lower than like something like a PSA 10 Moonbryon. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. Nothing needs to make sense, because if you think about it too hard, and I think about it too hard all the time, it really is all like kind of lunacy. And look at art. Again, this is nothing. Pokemon is nothing market cap wise relative to like art. You have singular paintings selling for like $1 billion, hundreds of millions of dollars. The amounts of money, like you could take my graduating class. I graduated with 89 kids from my high school. There are singular pieces of paper with brush strokes of oil on canvas made hundreds of years ago that sell for multiples of the productive output of my entire, not even my entire graduating class, like probably my entire K through 12 school while I was there. Like the entire productive output of our lives won't generate the amount of money that like one thing sells for. Bitcoin. I like a lot of things about Bitcoin. I don't like a lot of things about banking. But if you think about it really hard, it's like, what is it? What is it? There's like gold at least has intrinsic value. It has industrial, technological uses. It's malleability, it's corrosion resistance, yada yada yada. Whereas Bitcoin is like, it's people just agreeing that like something is worth something. There's no like backing to it other than people believing in it. So yeah, if you think really hard, like a lot of people get really set and like, oh, PSA 10s should be this multiple of PSA 9 and Black Label should be this percentage of no more than 10 times, no more than 5 times a PSA 10. And any of it can be anything because none of it has ever made any sense, honestly. Let's see. $100 on Ohio State or Texas. I need financial advice. I don't know why. I've never been a big fan of Ohio State, but I have a family friend who went there for a while and she transferred somewhere else, but now her boyfriend still goes to Ohio State. Her boyfriend is actually like a pretty big draft prospect. He's a senior this year at Ohio State, and if he has a good year, he could be a high-ranking draft prospect. So he might end up being a Jet for all I know. Like if he goes first round, I mean, Jets are probably going to have, well, I don't know, maybe they traded away all the first round picks. I don't know. But Jets will probably have a high first round pick like they always do. So maybe he'll end up being a Jet someday. Then I'll have to be more of an Ohio State fan. But Usami's holding Shinings. Sam's holding Art Academies. Dan's kids are cool, but I'll pass on being the guardian of any kid. Do you think vintage is undervalued? vintage is so broad. There's so much different vintage. I think this card, generally speaking, is undervalued relative to almost every poncho, relative to almost every alt art, relative to every, like, most modern things. I think this card in particular is undervalued. Every card, it would have to be case by case, though. Certain cards I think are, certain cards I think aren't as much. It's all a spectrum. And I'm just one guy. I'm one guy with one set of opinions, and the market often doesn't agree with me, and it likely never will. If base first Charizard is $1 million card, that will put Moonbreon at $3 million. See, just like I said, things don't have to make sense. Ray's a smart man. Question: I buy a box for $250. I sell on eBay for $350. 6 months later, eBay doesn't know what I paid for the box. Will the tax form generated by eBay hit me for taxes on $350? You will get a 1099 from eBay for your gross sale of $350. The IRS won't. Like, I think a lot of people have such a vast misunderstanding of how taxes work. Like, you'll get a 1099 from each platform you sell on for your gross sales, but the IRS won't know what you paid on your stuff. You just need to tell them what you paid for your stuff. So you would go in and you would put in your cost of goods sold, whether your cash basis, whether your accrual basis. Things are done slightly different ways. But a lot of the tax system is truly based on, like, trust. It's like you get certain numbers get sent to the IRS. It's not trust based on what you sold. But a lot of your cost bases and stuff, you just write what you paid for it all. Cumulatively, you sum it all up, and you have spreadsheets, and you have a bookkeeping program that does it. But they have no way of knowing that. They don't get, like, the IRS does. I've seen the meme before that, like, in the US, you gotta. They know how much you made and they know how much you owe, and if you tell them the wrong number, you go to jail. Like, such a dumb meme. At most, they know how much you took in, maybe, and they have no clue what you paid. If they audit you and they go into your bank records and they go into your credit cards and they go into this and that, they could find it out. But, like, that stuff doesn't show up anywhere. That stuff, they only find out if they look. And I'm not, like, saying that to, like, advocate for anything. I'm just stating the plain facts. Like, me, at the end of this year, I will have 1099s totaling between $5 and $10 million. And I will tell the government how much I paid for all that stuff. I'll tell the government how many 1099s I sent out and how much I paid for my labor and all that. And then I'll calculate, like, how much I owe them. And, like, there would be nothing stopping somebody, aside from morals and aside from the law and the fear of what would happen if they got caught. There would be nothing stopping someone from like, just making things up. And some people do it. Like, because there's no, like, they're not going to get, hey, Dan sold between 5 and 10 million and Dan spent exactly $5.268 million. So then here's the math and here's exactly how much Dan made. Nobody knows that. The government doesn't know that. That needs to be told to them. And that's just how it works. It's crazy to me how, and I'm not trying to, like, be mean saying that. I'm just, like, it's so common. Whereas if you're a W-2 employee, it's like, they know what you made, they know what was withheld. In that instance, once you add in your child tax credits, once you add in if you have mortgage interest, if you have this, standard deduction, itemized deductions, whatever it may be, they know roughly, when you're a W-2 employee, what you're going to owe. But that's a very different consideration from a business. And Grimer says it would be interesting to look at the data for free shipping versus no free shipping in terms of average order size, total spend per customer, total number of customers, etc. It's impossible, though, because, like, Nick has a 1.5 years worth of data with free shipping, and he has a 1.5 years worth of data without free shipping. But it's very different data. The platform was very different. His consumers were very different. The market was very different. So there's infinite noise. There's infinite confounding factors. It is impossible for Nick to look at. Even if he has, I don't care if he has 50,000 transactions free shipping and 50,000 transactions, certain things maybe. Certain things, like, as you said, number of items per customers, maybe. There's certain, but, like, that changes so much with the market, though, too. Continuing on, I'm gonna try to catch up quickly because I need to end in 20 minutes. Absolutely. Yep. I just said what you said. Has there been any prismatic coming out of distro? Seen some big stores like Safari drop a lot of product, and Walmart, Target also had decent sized drop last couple days. Yes, I got some prismatic poster collection. I got some prismatic. It's been a while, but I got some prismatic ETBs a while back. Like, there's definitely prismatic product trickling. I'm such a small account that like I don't get everything that comes through, but yeah, I've been getting some. I know you can sign through Fanatics, but do you also source raw singles, grade and sell yourself still, or are you more occupied with other aspects of your business? I'm grading more cards today than I've graded at any point in the hobby, aside from pre-COVID shutdown when I sent like 10,000 plus cards. I'm grading 500 to 1,000 cards a week every single week for the past few months. They're all going raw. They're all going raw to Fanatics. They're being CGC, PSA, and BGS graded, and then being auctioned on Fanatics. But every month I'm every week I'm sending 500 to 1,000 cards. So yes, I'm sending a lot right now. Fanatics Consignment with Dan is really underrated. UAP cap. All of my consigners saying UAP cap because they don't want more competition. Oh man. Why am I so averse to ripping Pokemon but a total degen when it comes to ripping Metazoo? I am as biased as you can be. I own a part of the company that bought I bought Metazoo from bankruptcy with a group of friends, and we licensed it to GameCubator Labs, who's printing it and all that stuff. But I genuinely like the cards. I'm not saying they're like better than Pokemon, but before I owned part of the company, I partnered up with Metazoo, and I was ripping 10,000 packs of every set before I had Sky doing it. I genuinely think they're really cool. I mean, how could you not like that frog? Look at that frog. So I'm a fan. I like engaging with the product. It right now too. Right now the boxes are like $80, and I value 4 boxes of Torrential as far as an opening experience goes for me and my family, way more than a single box of Destined Rivals. When Destined Rivals came out, I got 2 ETBs, and me and my kids split them. I think my wife and I each opened 5 packs, and then the kids each opened 4 packs because they open so much. My daughter opens really slow, or maybe we did vice versa. I don't remember. But anyways, we opened like 18 total packs as a family of Destined Rivals. We opened a whole case of Metazoo. Again, biased, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But I'm building. I'm engaging with Metazoo today how I engaged with Pokemon 10 years ago. And I'm having a great time. And maybe that's part of it. Like, I can't keep up with Pokemon right now. The Metazoo sets are fairly large too, but like Metazoo has 212 cards. I'm a complete set collector. This is number 1 out of 212. I collect 1 to 212 out of 212. I don't do reverse holos. I don't do stamped. I don't do master sets. I never have in Pokemon either. But like, Pokemon really got crazy. 6 sets a year. 200-300 cards in a set without counting the reverse holos. Like, Pokemon just got crazy, and Metazoo is a lot more easy to do it. So that's part of the reason that I do it. I have a complete set of Native and UFO and Seance and Wilderness and Nightfall. Like, I did it with old Metazoo too. I'm just engaging in a different way, and that's part of why I like it personally. I don't know if that applies to you too, Kiki. Like, are you doing complete sets of Metazoo, whereas you're not doing that in Pokemon? But that's what the answer is to me. What will make Metazoo connect with people? Do people want to collect cryptids as their little buddies like they do with Pokemon? I don't know. I don't know exactly what it will be for each individual person, and maybe it won't pan out. It didn't pan out the first time around, right? But I think there's a lot of different ideas there as to what could appeal, what could cause it. Cryptids are like Pikachu. Pikachu has celebrity appeal worldwide, but Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, Mothman. Mothman is one that I didn't know before Metazoo. So I don't know. I said Mothman because he's popular in the current iteration, but I don't think he's as well known. I was actually at my fantasy football draft. A couple of the guys, they all know I'm full-time Pokemon, obviously. Every year, they're like, some of the guys I only see at the fantasy football draft and the end of the year party. So like, how's that Pokemon stuff going? Are you still doing well with that? And I talked through, and they're like blowing their minds. A couple of the guys buy from me. A couple of the guys collect, or they bought from me months ago. And somehow or another, Metazoo came up too. A couple of them follow me on Instagram, and they're like, "What's that thing you posted the other day?" Like, "Oh, that's Metazoo. That's some trading card company that I bought that went bankrupt." And then they had a bunch of questions about that, and like none of them knew Mothman. None of them, 10 or a random 9 other people, 10 myself included. But that random sample size, nobody knew Mothman. Everyone knew Bigfoot. Everyone knew Loch Ness Monster. Everyone knew the Yeti. Everyone knew Paul Bunyan. Everyone knew Baby the Blue Ox. So yeah, there's in every region, everywhere in the world, like there are some localized cryptids. So that's like exposure wise, pro of it. That's exposure wise, like a potential entry point for them. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. We'll see what happens with it. Why in the world would Kevin O'Leary partner with Shine, the guy who tried to scam the Pokemon market? Do you think Kevin O even knows the lore on Shine? I have no clue whatsoever. No idea. Collectibles Guru would have been a better investment partner than Shine. I don't know Shine myself. He was involved in the case, right? He was involved with. Was he involved? Yeah, I believe he was involved with that case. I don't know. I don't know. Dan, what's the most low effort way to net 20 cash per year in Pokemon? Gotta get my side business going to max my kids' Roth IRA. Like I'm very biased because I run the service and I profit off the service. But my CGC Fanatics thing is quite low effort. Well, you got to get the cards. You got to pre-grade the cards to some extent. Maybe not. Or like PSA Vault. To unbias myself from this, Z&G Emporium, PSA Vault, Probstein. These consignment services that allow you to sell your stuff without any of the hassle, without any of the listing creation, without any of the shipping. It's there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways to do it. That's just a couple ideas. Squeak says steal. Java's a hater, but the owner of Java's Cards and Collectibles is a perma bull. Is Retrospects done making YouTube content? He's I think he's taking his back catalog down again. I'm pretty consistent. Over many years I've been really consistent. I've always really enjoyed Retro's content. Maybe it'll come back someday, but I think it's more common. Actually, I just watched one of John Radar. I watched one of Radar's recent videos just last night, and I think it's very common. We were just talking about Box Nostalgia earlier, the podcast with Bierski and Ponga, and Slab podcast. I always give those guys crap. Greeny and Oak, I give those guys crap for their inconsistency. But inconsistency in the space is pretty common. And there's a lot of people that go on a burst and they'll make a bunch of content and they'll talk about their schedule and they'll talk about being consistent and they'll talk about like coming back, and then they do it for a few weeks and then it goes away. I think he's just like really crushing with business right now, and I think he's focused on that. So will he ever get that more automated? Will he ever come back to YouTube? I hope so, but like he might not. And I actually just highlighted the comment too. Squeaks Game World, in the past he had a podcast with Radar. In the past he had his own channel. He did streaming and great content out like back in the day. I think his catalog is still up, but yeah, people go through different phases with their content without making content, and Retro's currently on pause. I don't know if he's done altogether though. I was promised Ponga on the IG story. Where is he? Thanks. I realized as I posted that Instagram story, I'm like, this kind of looks like I'm saying that all these guys are going to be here. People are going to click in and they're going to see me and they're going to be very disappointed. So I apologize for that clickbait right there. Zach's Hobby Nook says, what programs do you use to import your pallets inventory into to track how they're doing, trying to do the same? So I have a spreadsheet in just Google Sheets. I have Google Sheets, and I'm not going to go through the whole spiel on how I do it, but I have a short months ago on how to use import XML to get data in. I can go, let me see what happens if I go here. Okay, so let me share. So here's like the pallet spreadsheet. So here's pallet 1, pallet 2, pallet 3. Here's the total of everything on them. And these, I'm not going to show you the whole formula and all that stuff, but like this box price here, and I know this stuff's tiny, this is pulled in from TCG Player. This is pulled in import XMLs, some other data massaging made by the help of ChatGPT, and all the stuff is just calculated here. You want to see what the current pallet valuations are? I don't know if it's 100% accurate because the highlighted ones are done manually because they don't fetch from like TCG Player cleanly. But the 3 pallets today, little sneak peek on where they're at, $363,000 on the pallets. But yeah, that's how I do it personally. I don't use Collector. I don't use any of those apps. I just do manual scraping into a Google Sheet, and then I total it all there. Pong is not yet full time, but maybe coming soon. Who knows? We'll see. I really don't like the way that they charge. It makes sense. It fundamentally makes sense based on insurance value. It makes sense based on the fact that they insure the value like forever and the future values theoretically. If financial guarantee were real, but yeah, I only have 8 minutes until I end. I can't go on a grading card company rant right now. Money is also based on nothing but societal trust, at least since we left the gold standard. Money's based on a lot more than Bitcoin. Money's based on like the power of the United States government being the reserve capital of the world, having the ability to tax its hundreds of millions of citizens, and accepting that for all debts, public and private, all that stuff. Like I used to be fairly deep down some silver stacking forum rabbit holes. I used to be coworkers with some like really deep preppers who would give me all the rants on the histories of fiat currencies and this and that, and talk about how paper money was trash and it was a soon to be broken promise and they're all going to zero always, which kind of is true to some extent. Bitcoin is actually just a Ponzi scheme, but we're still early. Like I was just alluding to, every fiat currency in history has ultimately proved to be a Ponzi scheme of sorts. They've all gone to zero on a long enough timeline. Every single fiat currency has gone to zero, but that is definitely like that is a little bit throwing the baby out with the bathwater. If you just say I'm not going to interact with USD or any kind of cash whatsoever because they've all failed, if that makes sense. And UAP covers that too. Ponga's pulling some digits. The fundamental question is whether scarcity alone is sufficient to uphold market capitalization. Unfortunately, history shows that very few contenders have met this threshold. That is true. That's a good counterpoint. So the argument for free shipping is the barrier for that first item is lower, and they will more freely place that first bid. But once they bid that first bid with $5 shipping, now they're more likely to want to like, hey, I want to even that out. I want to spread my shipping across multiple items. So if they pay $1 for a single and then pay $5 shipping, if they buy 5 more singles for $1 each, now they're dividing their shipping to being instead of $5 for one item, it's $5 for 5 items. It's $1 per item. That's actually a good point that I really hadn't considered that much. But as with everything, it's like that's why I'm always on the fence. I'm always on the fence. I'm always caveat disclaimer. I'm always nuanced. I'm always shades of gray, because everything is nuanced. Everything is shades of gray. Everything is it depends. It always depends. I gave a reason as to why free shipping could be better for your overall price realization. And then here's a good counterpoint as to why once that hurdle's met, it logically follows that like it could be slightly worse. So I've got somebody paying free shipping anyways, and in Nick's scenario where he's charging $5 shipping and then free for every subsequent item, well, I might have gotten $3 on my first item because they're willing to pay more because of they're not paying the shipping, whereas Nick's only gets $1 on his first item. But now that Nick's guy has paid $1, now it's like he can add another item, and he's trying to add more items to spread that out. Maybe it's like human psychology. There's a lot that goes into that, but it's a very interesting thought experiment. Do you think Cryptid Camp hurts Metazoo at all? I don't think so. I have no idea what the print run of Metazoo sets are or were. OG Zoo used to disclose that if they were real. I don't know. But new Metazoo is not disclosing that. I don't have that information. Cryptid Camp, I have no idea how many they're printing. I would think Metazoo is dwarving Cryptid Camp. I think there's a couple other like cryptid-based things that tried to pop up after Metazoo went bankrupt. But no, I truly don't think it's competition. But I could be wrong. Maybe it's a higher percentage of the market than I realize. I agree that the fun per dollar in a rip is better for Metazoo right now. I'm attempting all reverses through alts. Can't justify all hidden legend promos. I don't know as of right now. So I will give you a quick recap on my I'll give you a quick recap on my alternate art booster box for Metazoo. So there's one right here, the Jet Yates box. I opened 15 cases to get my Jet Yates box. Sky opened 15 cases ish to get his first Jet Yates box. Then he did a live stream on eBay with one case break, and the one case break we did on eBay, it was a Jet Yates box. So we are 3 for 31 in base set. We were about 1 for 10 on average. So he's opening a couple dozen more cases to break 10,000 packs for eBay. Hopefully we get more. If we end up with at least 2 more, especially if one is damaged. If we get one and one is damaged, if the wrapping is torn, if the edge is dented or whatever, we'll rip one and we'll CGC grade and Fanatics auction the cards. But if we only get one more, or if we get no more, maybe I don't do it this time. But one thing I will do, I messaged Sky about that earlier. One thing that will be coming in, it'll probably be a month away, because CGC directly is like 2 months, 3 months from what I hear for grading. CGC through Fanatics, through me, is like 3 to 4 weeks. So I'm having late this week or early next week, Sky is going to send like 4 or 5 of every alt art. He's going to send like 1 or 2 of every legend. He's going to send hopefully at least one of every hidden rare. And we're going to CGC grade and then auction them like we did last time around. It actually went pretty well. I was ready for the pain. I was ready for the punishment. It went pretty well. I gave them an Instagram feature. I did a story post and I kind of highlighted them a little bit. But I was happy with the prices realized on the first go for Metazoo base set. So I'm probably going to have him send both more base set. We don't have a lot of the hiddens. Some of the hiddens were sold out on them from base set. But we're going to send most of the alt arts probably. We're going to send some more reverse hollow Mothman, reverse hollow Bigfoot, whatever. And yeah, we'll see. Someone cut Dan's internet, please. That must be when he was talking about, me was talking about CGC Fanatics. I sent a $65 raw card and it sold for $48. BB sold a $140 card for $100. Stop telling lies. You said I can't do the podcast because I need to make you money streaming. Oh, man. I say I'll come back and never do. That's consistency. That is true. That is true. There's a very, like our favorite grading card companies, all of them, not one of them, all of them. A lot of our YouTube content creators are consistently inconsistent, and we love them for that, for sure. But I think that's it. So I just got to the bottom of chat at 3:59 p.m. and I have to end in 1 minute. So that's perfect. Yeah, I think that's all I had. Let me check my I was looking. I don't know where I put my notes. I think I closed it. Oh no, there they are. eBay Live, Fanatics Live, the mega stream. There's going to be an anniversary stream. Card Party weekend, October. Oh no, let me double check my calendar and figure out when Card Party is so that I know. But Card Party weekend is our anniversary weekend for streaming on Fanatics. October 3rd, 4th, 5th. I believe the 4th, actually. That's Saturday, is our anniversary stream. So I will likely be at Card Party. PK and Ponga might both be home, but I will plan on lining them up with some goodies. And hopefully we'll do some kind of a multi-stream where both of them go, one right into the other. So stay tuned for that. Mega stream, Ponga, on Saturday 6th. This week, we have Spat on eBay tonight. We have Sky on Spat on eBay tomorrow night. Sorry. Spat on eBay tomorrow night. Sky on eBay Thursday night. Ponga on eBay Friday night. Sky on eBay with Metazoo Saturday afternoon. So yeah, go check all that out. And as always, I appreciate everyone watching. I one last note. I had it in my note 2 weeks ago that my lawnmower broke. My lawnmower died. Ponga came over and I drove him down to New Jersey Collecticon. I have a picture of Ponga on my lawnmower. That is the last known appearance of my lawnmower. My lawnmower died shortly after that. And I've got a nice brand new one though. I mowed last night, kind of in the rain, but the new mower is nice. A bigger deck, gonna save me 10 minutes every time I mow. So bullish on the new lawnmower, bullish on all the new streams, the new platform. And yeah, appreciate everyone.